Hello, it's Eva here, and in this little video, I want to talk to you about the power of pleasure and why it is so important, particularly as a woman, to integrate pleasure into your daily life and make space for it, and how it has an impact on your overall well-being and your overall wellness. And I like to start with a quote that I think it's very, very beautiful, which is not even that yet pleasure related, and yet it is the basis of everything. And I think it is so beautiful. So one quote that I kind of like to refer to is like, if you don't make time for wellness, you make time for illness. So normally when women start working in the topic of pleasure and starting to integrate pleasure into their life, sometimes it's also because there are other symptoms already. It can be a low libido, it can be problems of orgasms, it can be a burnout, right? It normally comes to in different areas of the life when it kind of starts. But like integrating pleasure into your life, you don't have to wait till your body screams at you, till your body says like it is not okay. If you have strong menstruation cramps or whatever, there are many, many different symptoms that the female body would speak to you to show you, okay, here is something absolutely not going the right way and it is not pleasurable. So that's the reason why we want to look into pleasure, and we want to have more pleasure in our lives, because also when we look into the relationship of sexual pleasure and non-sexual pleasure, if you have a lifestyle where you have 20 to-dos, well, maybe 200 to-dos, not 20, you have a lot of responsibility in your job, you feel very accomplished, you're probably extremely successful, either in your corporate career or in your, well, maybe not corporate career, but in your career or in your own business, you feel very accomplished, you feel very successful. You have many things that you organize and that you have to take care of. Maybe you're a mom, and like there's also so many things. So your life is like a, a series of a lot of responsibilities and many, many things that you are taking care of. And I'm not saying you're not enjoying all of that. That's not what I'm saying. You may also totally enjoy many of this, but there is a counterpart missing. There's a counterpart missing that is called pleasure. Normally it is, and again, here I'm still talking about non-sexual pleasure and sexual pleasure. But when we look into this, when you have a lifestyle like that, right? When you have a lifestyle where you are extremely busy, when you have like so many things to do, then all of a sudden, coming home, coming to your lover, to your husband, to your partner, or to your female partner, whatever orientation you're in, whatever your relationship status is, all of a sudden then having like a full day, and then you come home and then you're like the super seductress, then you're super juicy and soft and flirty and everything. So let's be honest, this is not going to happen, right? Like if your life is like a constant and you are so used to control, to being sometimes also hard, like in terms of also your energy, it is difficult to all of a sudden switch into your juiciness, into your playfulness, into your softness, and be that juicy, yummy lover that all of a sudden has all these desires and everything. Most likely, you will even think that sexual interaction is another to-do thing, and it's something that needs to be done. Maybe it is like, maybe in your relationship, you feel like, it kind of integrated to once or twice a week, maybe once a month, like whatever works in your kind of relationship. So you feel like this is also the duty that you have to check off. Also on your busy to-do list, so that the relationship part is fine, like whatever your rule is. If you're single, maybe you don't even have like a self-pleasure practice, or maybe your self-pleasure practice is a loving relationship with the womanizer that gets the job done in a couple of minutes, and then you also check done. So everything is around performance, everything is around getting things done, and you're like check, 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 and yes, fine. And then you wondering why you feel tired, why you feel stressed, and why you feel, let's say, I don't want to say unhappy, that may not be the case, but you may feel, if I'm really honest with myself, there is a part missing, because the part that is missing is the pleasure. The part that is missing is the part of joy. The part that is missing of juiciness. The part that is missing is the flow. I'm going to say it, you will not like it when I say this, the part where you allow yourself, and it is really an allowance to let go of control. I also hear it many times from my alpha women, and they're like, yeah, my partner cannot lead me, or I want to meet men who can lead me. Yes, but would you allow that? Would you really allow that? Would you be in that energy of, oh yeah, I'm actually allowing him to make the dinner reservation. I'm actually allowing him to surprise me for a whole weekend. I don't know anywhere where I'm going. I don't know what to pack. Or would this cause a massive freak out within you because you're so used to be on that other side? So it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. However, we want to create harmony, right? We want to create harmony. And we also, most importantly, want to create within your body that sense of ease and that sense of relaxation, that you can play with both sides, right? You obviously can have your beautiful career and everything. This is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also want to make space for the other side. You also want to make space for relaxation, because I like to bring that example. And I know, like, normally my power women, my performance driven women absolutely love that. When you think about a high performance athlete, for example, right? That person is not constantly training. That person has a whole team of support. So this also means allowing yourself to be supported, which is a very feminine energy. So that person normally has a lot of support. Like, there are coaches, there are trainers, there are people, nutritionists, there are meditation practices, there are masseuses, there are physiotherapists. There's like a whole set of support, and on many, many levels, right? And so there's obviously the support of performance, of how to increase performance, the training plan, the nutrition plan, like what is the person eating, the mental plan. But there's also the other part. There's the part of relaxation, the part of the massages, the part of taking care of the body, the part of breaks, the part of like really making sure this is working. So and there's obviously a time, and I think this is also important for us to understand, there's obviously a time where, like when we also take the athlete, right? There's a time of constant training, like a regular training in your daily life. And there's obviously a time when there's like a competition or something, then obviously the schedule would look different. But many women I normally work with, they live their life as if they're in this constant competition. They live their life as if they're constant competing in the Olympics, right? The Olympics of being the super femme of the world, like an imaginary competition and Olympics they have kind of created for themselves, right? So you want to get off that treadmill. You want to get off the treadmill because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for you, for your body, and obviously also not for your relationships. It has an impact normally on many other areas, and that's where you come in and really want to look first. Non-sexual pleasure. Do you allow non-sexual pleasure? And is there something that you do just out of pleasure? Is there something that you do just because it's fun? I'm not talking going for a walk and listening the podcast or something. This is again performance. Or I'm walking, and while I'm walking, I'm listening to the podcast. Do you do something that is just for fun, where you have no goal attached to it, where you do have just something that you absolutely enjoy, and it's not another checklist on your item, it is just something that you do purely for your pleasure? So this is like the non-sexual part. Like, this is the part where I would start looking in first, right? And then when it comes to sexual pleasure, how does it look like? Is there like a certain routine that you do like constantly? Or is there other things that you feel like, I actually, when I'm really honest, it is that checkbox. It is something that I have to do. Then you obviously want to look into that, right? What is the relationship with your body? Like, how do you feel? Do you allow sensuality in? Do you allow playfulness in? Do you allow the playfulness with yourself and with a partner? So there are many, many layers to look into that. I hope this is helpful because you kind of want to create a counterpart, not a contrapart, but like you kind of like talking about wholeness and talking about well-being. It is something that you want to create in your daily life. You want to create harmony, not balance. I'm very conscious about not saying balance because balance again has this other part of like it needs to be 50-50, right? But in reality, in life, everything is cyclic. We live, also we see it, the nature is cyclic. Everything goes in cycles. You cannot have winter and summer, right? You cannot, like it there are phases. So you want to create harmony. You want to create harmony in all that, and you want to make sure that is a lot of pleasure moments. I call them pleasure bubbles in your life, because ultimately it will actually improve your performance. And most importantly, it will improve your health. It will improve your well-being, your happiness, your relationships, everything. So you want to actually open up the space that this is possible. And if you're interested to know more about that, I'm inviting you to join either the Pleasure Queen program. I also created like a Pleasure Queen kit where I'm sharing my 3 favorite pleasure exercises where you can start discovering your body and starting this loving creationship with your body. And the Pleasure Queen program is a beautiful program that you can join with other women, and we kind of start with unraveling and energetically all these energies that kind of want to be resolved, and we go into embodiment practices that you really start creating this loving relationship with your body and with your pleasure. It is not just, okay, connect with your body. We will obviously work on creating a loving, juicy relationship with your body, and that you understand your sensuality and sexuality much better. Or you can obviously work with me one-on-one. Everything is linked underneath that video. And other than that, let's make pleasure a priority and have fun. And remember, don't take life too serious. So we are meant to have fun and joy. So enjoy.